The Scene. Make sure you check it out. The.scene Instagram. Scene_the Twitter. The_scene Twitch. YouTube. The Scene. THE, all capital letters, SCEN. And then make sure you also check us out on Facebook, all capital letters, SCEN. That is the fan page. Go ahead and like it. This is Petty in the Outfield, aka The Dish. Make sure you join us on Facebook as well. Public group, and we out here doing it. Fellas, we just gonna jump right into this. Tie through, talk to these folks. Let them know how you feeling this evening.
I'm feeling great. I'm here with my guys. It's always good to be in the building with Guru and my guy, the true man in the false world. Keep the scene on your screen. That's a more truism for you. I love this. I love sports. I love this game. I'm happy just to be here and have a fun show for you guys. So let's get to it. Play ball.
Man, Jorge, Guru, talk to these folks. Let them know what's going on.
You already know what it is. We're back. We're gonna have some fun today. Talk some stuff. We're gonna debate. We're definitely gonna have a debate. And we're gonna talk about some stuff in baseball that we want you guys to understand how hard it is to do this stuff, how difficult it is to do this stuff, and how we probably won't ever see it again.
Ever.
Yeah.
So starting at the top, Tommy John surgery, right? Let's talk about how serious this is, because Tommy John surgery is equivalent to an ACL in basketball, an ACL in football, a rotator cuff in football, a rotator cuff in basketball for the most part. These are injuries that are very, very, very controversial because they, especially for a pitcher, I think pitching, can we argue, fellas, pitching is the most important part of the sport.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good pitching staff, you're probably not going to win, because guess what? In the playoffs, that's when we lock in on tendencies, and that's when we play our most strategic part of situational baseball. Hitters situational baseball. That's just a coin term that we're going to start here at the Dish. Hitters situational baseball. In this situation, the hitter does this, so we're going to take this away and make the hitter do this. That type of energy. So with that being said, I'm going to actually start with you, Jorge. Let's start there. Tommy John surgery, and let's talk about it. Like, how serious and what's going on with the surgery?
Oh man, it's real serious. It's basically taking, your elbow, basically a ligament in your elbow and your arm, basically right here, and it's either torn or it's, stretched or whatever you want to call it, and they basically, open you up, or now it's just, 2 holes. But the thing is, the pitcher, that's how they throw the ball. So your hand's back here and your elbow's back here, and you put a lot of stress on your elbow. So you can't really throw it off the mound when you get Tommy John surgery. It's not recommended. And back then, when they came up with the surgery, and the reason why it's called Tommy John surgery is because the first person to do it and come back from it was Tommy John. And it was done in 1974, I want to say. And he played for the Dodgers. Of course, I had to say the Dodgers somewhere in there, right, Ty? But
I got to do it.
It's crazy how far they've come, man. Obviously with technology and all, usually or before it would take pitchers, 3-4 years to come back to be what they were if they got to where they were prior to the surgery. Now it's basically next year pitching. You're not going to pitch at what you were before the surgery, but the year that you're rehabbing, meaning you're playing AA or AAA, and then you make it to the big leagues, the year right after that, let's say 2 years from the surgery, you're generally back to where you were. And that's amazing, to have that type of damage on your elbow. So you put that stress on your elbow for them to basically reconstruct that ligament, and for you to be able to throw 90, 95 miles an hour again and be back to making, those strikeout pitches or the filthy pitches that you were making prior to the surgery is amazing. Technology has come a long way to where pitchers, I don't like to say it, but pitchers are fortunate enough to have that surgery to come back to do what they did before. Not prior to 1974, they didn't, but now they do, and it's a pretty big deal, And Ty, what do you got to add to that, man? Like, what do you got to say?
Well, thank you, Guru, for giving us the history, a little bit of Tommy John's. You were right, you're on the money with the Dodgers, 1974, everything. And shout out to Tommy John, aka the Bionic Man. But one of the reasons I wanted to talk about Tommy John is because, of course, modern medicine is great to know about, and it's one of those cool things that we've evolved in the evolution of the sport, but also what it has done to pitchers on all levels of baseball. I'm talking little leagues, I'm talking to the minors, college, majors. I believe there were so many misconceptions with Tommy John surgery that a lot of people don't really talk about. And there's a lot of parents pressuring their teams or people that are trying to get to the pros to have Tommy John surgery because they feel it makes you, last like Tommy John did, or actually in some cases throw harder, which is a total misconception. Mm-hmm. Surgery is no joke. When this surgery first happened, Frank Jobe, the orthopedic surgeon who actually did it, it was so experimental and ahead of its time that he thought there would be like a 1 out of 100 chance it'd be successful. Now, fast forward to where we are now, everybody has gotten it or, is willing to get it and has had success after getting it because of the wear and tear on that elbow. So if you think you have someone who's been pitching all his life, just imagine how your tendons and your muscles are being overworked. And if you don't have proper conditioning, you may find yourself getting Tommy John surgery. But unfortunately, there was that huge misconception. And now you have baseball kind of taking it seriously. You have the Pitch Smart program, which is monitoring one of the main risk factors of you losing your elbow and overthrowing by monitoring your mechanics, how many pitches you're throwing per game, innings pitched per season, all of that. So that's why you've seen the evolution of the sport as far as pitchers are not standing on the mound for 7+ innings anymore. Pitch count, everybody knows about pitch count now. And this is because of the impact that Tommy John surgery had on the game. So I'm going to be Dr. Ty for a minute. So if you wanted to know what Tommy John surgery actually is, it's ulnar collateral ligament reconstruction. So like like Guru said, that can take pieces of any other muscle or tendon from elsewhere in your body or from a deceased donor to repair the ulnar collateral ligament in your elbow. That doesn't sound like something that's fun. It makes me cringe. I've only had one surgery in my life. Never want to do it again because the pain and recovery after and all that rehab, like when you get Tommy John surgery, you're going to be done for a year. You're going to be shut down. What that means though, is you can use that to your advantage as a pitcher to really study yourself, kind of rehab if you take all the right steps. And that's how you come back. Frank Jobe himself said it isn't the surgery that does well, it's conditioning of these athletes. And just because, somebody who's in the pros may have had Tommy John surgery like Strasburg and came back great, doesn't mean that I'm going to use little Johnny again from last week. Little Johnny, do not get Tommy John surgery. All right.
Yeah. And, to kind of go off of what you just said, you also got to put into perspective, these kids that play in Florida and nice weather, it's baseball year round. So you're not only talking about the mileage that you play in college and pros, if you make it there, you're also talking about your high school years. You're also talking about, you developing and you knowing how to actually throw a ball off of a mound, because you can have Tommy John surgery when you're 13, 14. If you don't throw the ball well or well enough to where your mechanics are in line and you're not putting too much stress on your elbow, you're going to mess your elbow up at a really young age. And like Ty said, having surgery, no matter what type of surgery it is no fun. The rehab is no fun. And for parents to even think about having that surgery for kids doesn't even make sense. You're at a young age, keep yourself natural. Don't go through any surgeries. Learn how to throw the ball first. But, have your mechanics down right. Don't put too much torque or stress on your elbow because you're going to mess it up, and you're going to mess it up pretty bad at a young age.
And just to say this as well, mechanics here, we try to preach those things as being a fundamental thing when you throw, when you run, and all those other things. So track athletes have to train their bodies certain ways because of running. And soft tissue injuries like hamstrings and things like that are very serious. This is no different with the Tommy John surgery when it comes to your arm. Making sure that you're throwing the ball, because a lot of the explosiveness and the explosion still comes from your legs. It still is work generated from the ground up. So the ground up, and then it's an explosion that comes down. So it's a generation of power that comes from the ground, from your foot, which is placed somewhere, and then it goes up through, comes up through, and it's basically just the such and such is connected to the type of energy that is on. So we want to make sure that people remember that and make sure people understand that, because mechanics are key in any position that you have to throw, any position you have to run, any position in professional sports. There is some type of mechanic or some type of technique that you have to have down or understand in order to sustain longevity in a sport, period. So coaches, all my coaches out there, if y'all not teaching the game right, get out the way, because the scene will be on the screen and we're going to teach these folks the right way to do it. I'm not going to hold it. I'm not going to hold no ones and no twos on you. I'm just going to go ahead and scratch like the DJ that I am. I will eject your ass out of these kids' life, and I have no problem with doing it. And we're going to make the things happen. I will eject your seat, because I don't want to see these kids having these surgeries because y'all can't teach them how to throw the ball the damn right way.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to call it what it is. So anything else before we wrap up and go to another topic here?
Yeah, no, just to go off what you said, the legs are your base. On the pitcher's mound, the reason why the rubber, which is what the pitchers step on, is slightly uncovered is so the pitcher can actually step on it and push off of it with his legs to get that momentum heading towards the home plate, which is where the ball travels for the hitter to hit. And it's a little elevator so he can get that force and that basically that torque that all goes into the elbow if you're not throwing it correctly from your legs. So if you don't have your legs or your feet proper or quads properly, you're not going to be doing anything. That's your base, and you have to be able to control it and use it well.
And Ham said, I ain't throwing more than 6 in the third innings. I'm on low management like Roger Dorn. I don't blame you. And then Vic says, emphasis on control becomes something more appreciated for guys that have been through that process. And that's a very, very important thing. Thank you for that analysis. One day we'll have his non-watching major league ass on the show as well, because he's a baseball guy as well. With that being said, yes, Vic, I said it. So what, gang member? Dish style. Serving it hot on the plate, baby. Hot on the plate.
Hot on the dish.
So with that being said, let's go to some fun stuff as we get to the really fun portion of the show. We got baseball best, most untouchable records that we feel. We all going to give you a couple, and we're going to debate these because this is going to be fun. Ty, I'm going to start with you. Give me your first one.
My first main one, I don't think will ever be touched. Most careers, no hitters. That shout out to Nolan Ryan. Nobody's going to beat that in my lifetime. And
what's the number?
In the number,
make sure you name the number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the person who came closest to that and second is Sandy Koufax with 4. And how great was Sandy Koufax? Shout out to the Dodgers.
We're talking about two legendary pitches right now.
Oh my God, we never gonna watch. Oh my God.
What? Let Sandy Koufax be great. You talking about?
Listen, man, I'm the skipper. Right, you about to look? I'm the skipper, and I'm about to get you out of here.
All right, chill. Nolan Ryan, come on back.
Let's have fun with this though. What is the current number for players right now? Is there anybody who has 3 or 4 right now?
So the only one who's active that has the most is Justin Verlander with 3.
So Justin Verlander has 3. That's no hitters, right?
No hitters.
That means here's why this is going to be interesting. It's because how many pitchers are going to be able to go through a lineup? Okay, if we look at how many times is it that you go through a lineup? What is it? 3 times at least?
4 times. 4
times in a 9-inning game, right? 4 times to go through this lineup.
I'm sorry, 3 times. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, 3 times. But that's assuming that you go through the lineup with a no-hitter. So 3 times you have to go through this lineup. They're going to see all of your pitches and everything. This is assuming that you're going to throw for less than 110 pitches. 100 to 110 pitches is when they're starting to pull people now. That's the part that makes that's the most interesting.
No.
Because now with the Tommy John surgery aspect, you see how we tied that in? It's kind of crazy how the world works. But anyway, it's interesting because of that, because now I'm looking like, yo, that may be one that we may not be able to touch. Or hey, what you think?
Not happening. Not happening. No. Look, you're talking about generally a really good pitcher. He would get a quality batter out, let's say in 7 to 9 pitches, Ty. And you know, let's say a good batter would give him 9 pitches. That means that he would have to average to get the 27 outs. What? Like in 9 innings, 10.
You're
10
looking at
pitches,
like
10 pitches to get you to a 90.
11. Well, excuse me. Put it like this: 12 pitches is 108.
108.
12 pitches an inning.
An inning. So you have to get 3 outs with 3 strikes. So that means more than likely the reason why you're getting that no hitter is because they're hitting the ball.
Oh, that's crazy.
Or they're not striking out. They're not taking the pitches. They're swinging and they're being aggressive and they're just not getting any hits.
Right.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen in 1 year.
Oh, man, that's tough.
I mean, it's a career. No way.
That's tough. Yeah, it's hard. Man, what's the second one, Ty? I can't argue that one because it's the timing that we playing in too that you got to factor in too. Yeah. So go ahead, man. What we are, because now the utility players and the most important players are your damn bullpen players that come out in the 5th through 8th inning.
Yeah, there's not
because
a lot of
that's all we
that go to the 6th or 7th inning.
Go ahead, Ty, man. You damn it. I got one I can't argue with him about. Go ahead, man. Damn.
When I'm right, I'm right. You know,
even when you're wrong, you're right. Germ's so true.
On that note, I'm a slide that Trumich to the side. I'm gonna move on to my next unbreakable record. By the way, shout out to Nolan Ryan's career. Like nobody's gonna do that. Like he played like a whole life. Like his career is older than me.
Yeah.
Or his career lasted as long as me. So shout out to Nolan Ryan. No one's gonna do that unless Justin Verlander. Hey, go have at it. If you want to play until you're 50, and go for it. But anyway, the next record, definitely, I gotta shout out the Tatis family, Fernando Tatis Sr. That is, 2 grand slams in an inning. That ain't gonna happen. He did it.
I said this. I said it's highly, highly unlikely, and he did it, which is amazing and which is awesome. But I also said, how about if his son does it? How great would that be? That'd be amazing if he were to do it. But I don't see it happening. That's tough, man. 2 in an inning. So basically, to let you guys know, you have to come up twice in the inning. You got to get super lucky, score a lot of runs, because that means that you're having 18 people to bat in 1 inning. In a major league lineup, you have 9 batters. So that means you're going around the lineup twice to hit. So that means that you're probably going to score like 12, 13 runs that inning. And those numbers are just crazy, stupid. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't happen.
But first of all, this is my question. How the hell do you let that even happen? The same dude, but you know the same pitch? No, bro.
Right?
Was it against the same pitcher too, Ty? We got to look that up because I think it maybe it was. I'm not even sure.
All right, so I'm embarrassed. This is how I know. And y'all gonna hate me for it because it involves the Dodgers. He hit it against Chan Ho Park in 1999.
Both. That's awesome. That's never gonna happen again either. So we got 2 for 1.
Hey, listen, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't
You
like
like
this
it
at
'cause
all.
you can't argue it.
I know. That's why. That's why I don't like it. What's your third one? What's your third one, dude?
So the third one that I'm gonna say is probably a record that probably won't be broken. Um, I have to think about this one, but I'm gonna say most RBIs in a season. That one set long time ago. That record has stood for 75 years. The record, first of all, is 191. Just to give you the number, and you probably don't even know the guy who set the record is Hack Wilson. I don't know who he is. He played in
Shouts
the
out to
1930s.
category 5 in the comments. He said that's wild. No, Vic said that's wild. So category 5 says same picture. He said Chanho Park, I think. I did a trivia question on this a few months ago. See, category, where you at?
That's
I'm about
my
to send you the
guy.
link.
That's my guy.
That's our guy right
That's
there.
my guy. That's my guy.
Category 5, we gonna
hey.
fight. But hey man, I'm being honest with y'all. Like this stuff sound damn near impossible.
It is.
All right,
man.
so
hold on.
crunch the numbers.
How many RBIs did you say in the year?
191.
Yeah.
So that's equivalent to 1 point. Okay, so wait, it's 164 games in a season, right?
62.
62. So that's 162 RBIs, right? So that means we would have to then say that that's an additional, what is that, like 1.4 RBIs a game? You would have to average?
Something like that.
It's like 1.4 RBIs. Like what kind of monsters are we trying to create?
Something like that. That's
The next person who came close, and this is why the record has stood the test of time. Lou Gehrig is in second place at 184.
Who's number 3? Do you have number 3 right there?
Hank Greenberg at 183.
Okay, so this is where we're talking about the evolution of the game. You see back then, look at the years he's given you and how many RBIs they had in the year. They played the same amount of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now the guys, what they're focusing on is their lift, their home runs. They're not really focused on, putting the bat on the ball as far as, just getting a single, a double. They want to hit the home run. They want to put on the show. Those records are just not, it's not going to happen. It's just not.
Bat flips. More bat flips.
So I'm going to actually say I think this one can be broken.
What?
I'm going to tell you why I think this one. Yes. I think we will get this one broken in the next 15 years. We're going to be old and decrepit when this happens, though. But I'm saying 15 years. Let me tell you why. Because I think with the speed of the hitters, singles are getting guys from second to home. Doubles are getting guys from first to home. We may be able to get a guy who gets in a good rhythm and sees it. But you know what the biggest part of this is? I think it's going to be consistency and health. Attrition is going to play the biggest factor. Because I think we can have this potentially happen. I'm not arguing it based on me just trying to be a butthole. I'm arguing because looking at the speed of the game now and the speed of the players, we may be able to see this happen.
Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up. Where's the wrap it up box? Get me the damn wrap it up box. All right, Germ. So I'm only gonna say this. I'm gonna preview guys because first of all, Germ knows we gonna fight on site too. So you mean to tell me in 2001 when Barry Bonds hit 73? How many RBIs did Barry Bonds have that season?
You want to know something wild? I looked up the same exact thing. I looked up the same.
Let's go.
Wild.
How many did he have? Go ahead, intrigue me.
137.
137. Okay, but again, what are we hitting for?
But
we're hitting for average, right?
Wrap it up.
Are we hitting? I'm asking you now. Are we now hitting for average, fellas?
But he has a point, though.
I didn't say he didn't have a point.
Listen.
I'm not mad at that.
And this is the point that we're trying to make. How do you get most of your RBIs? By having people on base and hitting the home run.
Because you get one extra because you are a part of the RBI.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you could hit a 3-1 home run, get 3 RBIs with one swing. That's the
okay.
mentality.
All right, so let me ask you this question. In 2001, when Barry Bonds, the said person, hit those 71 home runs, what was the RBI discrepancy between him and the rest of his team?
Oh my God, I don't even want. Next up was probably like 90-something RBIs or something, maybe if that.
No, it probably was like 50 or 60. So if we talking about guys being able to get on damn base, if he hit that means he had. Listen, you said 134, right?
137.
137. Do you realize half of his RBIs just came from him?
Yeah, about half. Yeah,
and he still couldn't do it. Didn't even come close.
That's the point we're trying to give you.
But that means that the rest of them dudes was Jake. They couldn't get on base before him.
Hey, I don't. And I think you have a point there too, because I want to say maybe like 32 of them. I want to say I saw it somewhere were solo shots.
That's crazy, bro.
Okay, hold up though. Let's put some respect on Jeff Kent and Richard Rulia's names. Jeff Kent was on that Giants team. He had 106 RBIs.
There you go. I was
Richard Rulia
I said
had 97. Everybody else we won't talk about.
Okay, I bet, because it was probably like 20s and 30s.
You got some 40s in there. You got some 40s in there. Shout out to OE.
So look. With that being said, okay, all right, bet. Just on your part of the show alone, we have now taken up more time. So thanks, Ty Through. You're through. Skipper ejected seat. Go ahead, Google. What's your... But this is what's gonna be fun about this. If somebody breaks it, I'm coming on this show and I'm talking so greasy. It's gonna be so much fun. Cause I'm like, remember when I said the thing that I said? But go ahead, Guru. What's your first?
So since we're on the topic of Barry Bonds, that's exactly who I'm gonna go to first. The first one is his home run record, career home run record, 762. I don't see anybody doing it. Number 2 is the late and great Hank Aaron, which he passed. He had 755. And then on the active list, we have Pujols with 662. And he's in his 20th year coming this year in the show. I don't think he's going to come in anywhere close. And then Cabrera is the next active player. And I don't even know where he sits, but he has 487 and he's in his 18th year.
And we talking about how many what?
Huh?
What was the number?
Home runs in the year, 762. I mean, in a career, excuse me. That means in a 15-year career, you have to average 50 home runs a year.
Wow.
To get to
so
that.
Who was the top 5? Give me the top 5 one more time.
No. Well, I'll give you the 2. So Bonds was first. Hank Aaron was second with 755. Babe Ruth is third. I think he had 714 or somewhere around that. And then as far as number 5, I don't know who number 4 is, but number 5 is Albert Pujols with 662.
Okay. That one is one I agree with because I just don't see that happening. That, again, we're hitting more for average now and not looking for long balls. It's even parks that are not home run parks. Then that's becoming more of a theme too. Slowly but surely, that's going to become more of a theme. So I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's going to be touched either. Somebody get that one, I'm going to be like, yo, the game must have changed again because I don't see it in this era right now, currently. And Ty, what you think?
You also got to think about it before you go, Ty. Sorry, excuse me. He was tied in, in that era where, steroid, let's say what it is. Steroids was a thing. And you had him, McGuire, and Sosa battling, every year for basically the home run crown and throwing up crazy amount of home run numbers. That's just, I don't see it happening. It's not going to happen. Nobody's going to do it.
Yeah. Shout out to the number 4 guy is actually A-Rod with 696.
Oh,
and yeah, so if you look at the names on the list, these guys all played like plus 18 years and were muscles upon muscles, making Arnold Schwarzenegger look, puny. So if the machine couldn't do it, if A-Rod couldn't do it, there was one point in time where I thought A-Rod could do it. He can't do it, and he didn't do it. So
A-Rod was the one.
Lifetime,
I agree with. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Don't taste good. I actually agree. I thought A-Rod, if anybody was gonna do it, it would have had to been A-Rod.
Hell, Germ says what? He agrees with who?
That this through tie. His name is even backwards.
Oh, man.
But I think the key here is A-Rod was the only guy, and I think we all can agree, he's the only dude that you felt like, yo, he got a shot. Because he can give you 45 to 50 in a year. He's going to be in that range. But then after that, Jennifer Lopez happened, and she took all his strength. I said it out loud. I just said it. I mean, I just want y'all to know that if Jennifer Lopez came in your life, then, she'd probably take all your strength too. But that's all I need to say.
So when I was watching Griffey, I think he probably would have done it if he didn't come into his surgeries and all. He ended with 633. So that's 630 somewhere.
Griffey played what, 16 seasons, was it?
22.
22. So in 22 seasons, he had the 633 in 22 seasons.
Yeah, I say it's 18. He missed like so many of games. Like
he missed probably.
That's why, but Ty, that's another reason why I said 16, because you see, it's a lot of years that you can. He probably missed a few seasons. It feels like with some of his injuries.
Yeah,
like worth of time. It feels like. But with that being said, I mean, what's the second one? This is and the comments, man. Share, keep on talking, y'all. We having some fun. Let's have some fun, man.
So go ahead. If you want to read some comments, go ahead.
Let me see. Cal Ripken is one person we were saying with the streak for the games.
Oh yeah.
That may never be broken, but I don't think it will be. I don't think that's something that I will want to break. To be honest, like that's not an accomplishment.
Playing over 2,200 games straight.
Stop the
low
record.
manage me,
Cut
Chief.
the tape. Cut the tape real quick. I got beef with my man. He's a brother, but no way, Vic. No way Aaron Judge is going to hit 199 RBIs. Get out of here.
Yeah,
go watch Major League. I had to say that.
Man.
Hey, I was gonna get to that.
Donkey comment of the day. Comment of the day.
No, that ain't even a donkey comment. That's just Vic trying to stir up the pot.
Are you able to put somebody off of a YouTube channel, like so they can't watch it no more?
I'm trying to right now. I'm trying to.
Hey, so Vic also said that's also because, this is a good point. He said that's because Kent batted behind Barry. Thank you, Vic. Thank you.
That's true. That's a good point. That is a good point.
So and then so let me see what hey, Storms agrees with me. J-Lo can have whatever she wants. I agree.
Yeah, she still look good. Like, man.
Hey, Category 5 said he skated right past that BS. Y'all crazy. Y'all folks crazy. Go ahead. So what else we got? All
right. So I got one that I came across today. I really didn't know much about it, and it's freaking crazy. So the most stolen bases in 1 year is by a gentleman named Hugh Nicole with 138 in 1887. 1887. The year 1887, 138. Ladies and gentlemen, we play 162 games in a year in baseball. If he would have stole 24 more, he would have had one a game. And the closest person to him to come close to that is Ricky Henderson in 1982. He got 130. He was 8 shy. That no, that's just not going to happen. It's just not going to be touched. 138 is ridiculous. Ricky Henderson is the best base stealer there probably ever was, ever is, maybe, or ever going to be. You know, shout out to Bret Hart right there. But I don't see it happening. 138, that's a lot. Ty, what you got to say?
I'm sorry, Hugh Nickel, because I so thought it was Ricky just because he's, like you said, the greatest. So give that man his flowers. Willie Mays Hayes, if that was a real person, couldn't even do that. So no disrespect to. Oh, Vic, go watch Major League, man. I'm gonna say that. That's the second time I said it. That's fourth time it's probably been said this night. But yeah, that's gonna stand the test of time.
Yeah. What do you say, Jerem? What do you say? The skipper.
Oh God, the skipper is saying that these folks may be out because I can't. You know what it is? I just don't. If you see 134, you said right, or 138.
138.
Dude, that's like a game you got to be getting like in like 4 or 5 games a season. You just get like four stolen bases. Like that's crazy. But in order to get 4 stolen bases, you got to get on base.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean?
Yeah.
What, hey, man, you know what I'll be interested to know? What did he hit that year? How many walks did he have?
I don't know.
Why did you even pitch to the guy?
I mean, but it may not even been pitching, though. It's correct. Bro, that's nuts. Like what?
I mean, we're also talking in 1887. How good was the pitcher? Throwing the ball. Was he throwing underhanded or what?
It was softball.
Yeah, like
softball.
Like what was going on? But I mean, still, you have to run from first to second and not get thrown out. So like, was there? I don't know. Was there a catcher? Like, was there somebody behind the plate? What was going on? Like that's amazing. Like.
That was the human flash right there. That was Speedy Gonzalez. That was Roadrunner. That was all of them.
Yeah, for real.
All right. And then on Facebook here, we got a couple of things going to y'all. So Zach says he actually said the same thing. A-Rod was 4, Pujols was 5. He said Trout is the only one I could even fathom to hint at the record. Trav says Barry Bonds was giving out 40 plus during the early years in Pittsburgh, though. Big Shot said on both YouTube and on Facebook, he says someone hitting 400 in a season is on my list of records that won't happen again. I agree with him on that. That feels damn near impossible.
Yeah.
And then we got, let's see, category 5, 60 wins by old Hoss Radborn, I think that says, in 1884. Vic says in that season he played 135 games that season.
Are you talking about the person that just stole all those bases?
I think that's who he's talking about.
So he played 135 games. He stole a base a game because he had 138. That's what he did. If that's what Vic's talking about, that's
ridiculous. That's stupid.
That's a cheat code. That's a cheat code.
Hold on. Then he said correction 125. So he even had more than one a game. What?
The one that got me thinking is so this is what category 5. The one that's got me thinking is Pedro's whip record of 0.7373 in 2000. Outside of this shortened season, no one else has ever finished with under 0.8.
Yeah, that's not
fun fact though. Bauer was 0.795 in 2020, and Kenta Manda was 0.750. And then Vic says Hugh Nickel played 125 games. He clarified. God. That's crazy, yo. That's nuts. Like, are y'all kidding? Man, I feel drunk just even reading that.
He has the sheet for us.
I just got tired. I don't even know if I could finish this show. That dude did a lot of running, bro.
Oh, do you got another one?
Yeah, I got one more, but just so fans know, people that don't watch the game, whip, what it is basically your walks and your hits per inning. So basically what he was saying is Pedro Martinez was allowing 0.7 in his entire season hits or walks per inning. So less than one hit or walk per inning in a season. That's like 0.73. That's insane. And that's you're right. That's probably never going to happen. Category. Good one there, man.
Trav said, who has the lowest ERA in a season?
I don't know. That's going to be a good one. Look
Todd,
that
check
up.
that one. Todd, check that one for me if you don't mind.
I'll give the guys the last one. So most stolen bases in 1 year. So I'm going to go back to stolen bases because speed kills on the bases, man. Ricky Henderson. Most stolen bases in a career, not a year. My bad. Would be Ricky Henderson with 1,406. 1,406. So in his career, and excuse me, Henderson is the only baseball player to ever have over 1,000 stolen bases in his career. The second most, Lou Brock, 1938. 938. That's the closest to him. So he's basically almost 500 stolen bases lower than him, less than him. And then the active player with the most is D. Gordon with 333. He's in his 10th year. And just to give you guys an idea, because I like to let you know about these numbers. So if you play 15 years in an MLB season, you have to average 93 stolen bases those 15 years to get 1,407 in your career.
Fun comments before I get into my couple ones and we get to Ty's stat. Vic says that whip is disgusting. He said these pitchers have no control these days. These pitchers have no control these days for that kind of whip per 9 innings. And then Category 5 said Tim Keith 0.86 in 1980.
Yep, that's the answer.
And then Big Shot, man, he says, I think Bob Gibson had like a 1.2 ERA, which I think that is correct because I do remember that. And then, and then Vic is talking about the whip and the ERA is calculated per 9 innings. And then Storm says, holy hell, some dude named Willie White threw 75 complete games and 680 total innings in 1879.
Wow.
Well, here now.
Here
we got a history lesson around here.
And this goes back to what we were telling you guys. The evolution of the game. The game's just changing. Back then, and a lot, you would see back in the days, people hitting for average, not so much focused on the long ball. And then also you would see pitchers pitch, and not just pitch, but I'm saying like they would throw a complete game and then they will go out maybe in 2 days and throw another complete game, or the next day and
have a beer.
And like hey, I just threw a complete game. Let's go have a beer and like do the dish. You know what I mean? Like let's keep talking baseball. Like this is cool. Like what? That's crazy. Like I don't get it. And
Westrick got some interesting stuff here too. He said, "What about Mariano's ERA in the 9th inning? Wasn't that something like 0.25 or something stupid?"
Probably is. That's the Sandman. So
hey, that's definitely something we can check out. And then he said, "I can't remember if it was Glavine or Maddox, but the amount of time he reached a 3-1 count is stupid low."
I think it was Maddox.
Yeah, that's interesting. Category 5, dudes would throw 2 complete games in a double header. It's different for sure. It definitely is different.
Yeah.
The steroid era, I think, ties into the back end of that era, which is the most interesting part of this. And that's part of the reason why you'll see some things, because as we said at the beginning of the show, pitching is the most important part of the game. Your arms that you have are the most important part of the game. It's not even your bats. That's the crazy part. So here's my first one, because I'm tired of this damn Barry Bonds slander. The first thing is, ain't nobody gonna ever hit 71 damn home runs in a season. Go ahead and argue. I'm listening.
Look,
It's possible. Tatis could do it.
The only argument I have towards this is everybody's focused on their launch angle and hitting home runs. That's it. That's where it ends. That's it. Other than that,
come on through, Ty. Come on through, Ty.
Hey, shout out to Angels in the Outfield. That's probably another good movie that Vic Jr. has not seen.
Yeah, it probably has.
It could happen.
Oh, slaw dude.
Hey, it could happen. Somebody could hit 75. So, hey, you know, it was only a long time ago, 20 years ago that it was done.
Mm-hmm.
But give it time. In my lifetime, I could see somebody hitting 75.
Okay, Erica Badu.
Why not?
So,
all right, Erica Badu.
Before you continue, let me test this what Storm said. He's right, man. Greg Maddux in 3-0 counts, he faced 20,421 batters in his career. He only went to 3-0 counts 133 times. That's stupid. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So meaning he threw three balls to one batter only 133 times. And what I want to know is how many of those, if any of those, were intentional walks, because I'm sure maybe he had like one or two, you know. But that, oh my God.
Against Barry Bonds.
Yeah, somebody of that caliber, you know, like you just don't want him to beat you or whatever. Oh, that's crazy, man. It just doesn't make any sense. What else?
So,
what else we got?
My other one that I want to make sure that we make sure we also put because the theme of me today is I'm tired. As I said, I'm tired of the Barry Bonds slander. We got to stop this. This man has another record that will never be broken, and that is most career walks drawn. 2,558.
Everybody's swimming for the long ball. That's my explanation for everything. I don't see it. Look, you got to remember, man, Barry Bonds, probably the best hitter we're ever going to see. You know, just 5'2" player, can do everything on the field. Much respect to him. So much respect to him that teams were even walking him with the bases loaded, meaning that his team was scoring a run because they would walk him with the bases loaded. That's how much respect they had for him because they knew that he was more than likely going to get a hit. That's crazy.
That doesn't even mean home run. So you know what that means? That same year that we talking about 130 or 34 RBIs that y'all said, that same year that y'all talking about, he probably got walked in a couple of those games where he had 1 RBI and he was supposed to get 4. Oh, haters. Hey,
so just out of curiosity, I looked it up as Germ still is the number one. He should change his name from Skipper to I am the Barry Bonds Stan Club, number 1 fan. But Ricky Henderson's number 2. Ricky Henderson's number 2 for most walks career at 2,190. So I was surprised at that. Yeah.
Oh, you thought I came to play? You thought I came to play games with y'all tonight? No, I came to shut it down. You know, look, if I came with some stats like that, I'm just letting y'all know what's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? This is not gonna happen.
I'm gonna give Jermis flowers. There's only 3 active players on the list, and they're nowhere close. You got Albert Pujols at 1,331, ain't gonna happen. Joey Votto actually at 1,217, and then Miggy at 1,159. So
and can we all agree there was about a 5-year stretch that Miggy may have been the best hitter in baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
Where Miggy couldn't 0-2 counts. It was almost for sure he was either walking or getting a hit.
Triple Crown winner.
I mean, listen, Miggy was disgusting at a time. It was just like, what? Who is this dude?
And this goes back to, you know, Barry Bonds. You just said Miggy for 5 years, but Barry was probably 10, 15. You know, like what?
His whole career.
We're gonna have to do a show and just highlight everything. we're gonna have to do like a show, and we're gonna do a presentation of like some big name players that should get respect. We're gonna do some pitchers, we're gonna do some hitters, but Barry is gonna be the first test subject. I want y'all to understand some of the records that this dude holds will be everlasting in baseball because it's just going to be impossible to do it. And the game is going to have to change all over again. And we're going to have to see another special dude. I know we got Trout in the game, but is Trout the type of hitter that he's going to be the guy that's going to command the same plate attention that Barry Bonds ever did?
No. I mean,
and don't get me wrong. I got to be honest. If we want to talk about this objectively, Mike Trout is doing some Barry Bonds-esque type of things.
Yeah.
30 home runs, 30 stolen bases type energy. That's who else is doing stuff like that on a basis where they're a threat to do it every year.
Not very many. I mean,
that means you are a superhuman. You're built for power and for speed. I don't get it. And then he plays center field. Hey man, let's move on, man. Let's go to skippers. Listen, it's too many great records. Hey man, shouts out to everybody in the comments. This is why we love y'all. This is what we was here for tonight. I was here for this. I was pumped. Rivera's ERA for the postseason career was 0.7. That's stupid. That don't make sense. I don't understand it. That's not okay.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's like, all right, let's just play 8 innings. We're not even going there. We're not even going to touch the 9th. That end it. It's over. Like, it's crazy.
That's stupid. So skippers.
But you know what? I'm going to rub it in a little bit, Vic. How about that loss against the Diamondbacks in the 9th inning in the World Series? That was awesome.
Shade.
That man is not. That ain't shade. That's a tree. That man threw palm trees at you. Sheesh. He threw some palm trees. I mean, this is not Flo Rida. Go ahead there, Mr. Tie Through. Skippers and being ejected. That's how we're going to end the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and let's pass it to the through of the tie and let him go through the tide of skippers and their attitudes.
Thank you, the skipper. This is why does Germ like change his name every show? He just does what he does. We allow it. We don't introduce Germ because we don't know
who he's gonna be.
Choose.
You know, hey, look, you know,
what a call.
We really don't.
Hey, you know, hey, look, I think the people at home are enjoying that. You know, like who is this dude gonna be tonight? Like, is he gonna be Germ? Is he gonna be somebody else? We never know.
Right.
I start, you know,
right.
never know. I don't even know.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. It's all off the dome, freestyle.
This is so fun.
To transition to segue to skippers, shout out to Bobby Cox real quick. The man leads the MLB in career ejections at 162. So basically, he's been ejected for a whole season in his entire career. So shout out to Trav and Bobby Cox. I didn't see the man have his veins pop out of his neck and kick up so much dust and put a finger in the umpire's face many times. We love it. But why do managers do it? There's a reason in baseball. So the reason why managers actually argue calls and put themselves out there to get ejected are for a couple of reasons. One is they, of course, disagree with the call on the field. A bad call is a bad call. You get mad and you go Rasheed Wallace in the NBA. It happens. I got a temper. Bobby Cox has a temper. But anyway, the second reason, their best player or a player disagrees with the call on the field. And to protect that player from being ejected, I'm going to slide through and take one for the team because that's my guy, that's my player, and I need him. Whereas I ain't out there on the field. I'm not hitting hits. I'm not pitching. I'm not fielding. So let me take one for my guy, and I'm going to step in for him so he can shut his mouth. Very good reason. The last reason why, they get all energized and have their veins pop, kick dust. They want to energize the team. Rally, rally, rally. Shout out to the rally monkeys of the Angels. It worked. Why? I don't know. Do you have a rally monkey? If you want a rally monkey, you probably could find one on eBay for like hundreds of bucks, probably. I never believed in the rally monkey, though. That's just me. But if you want to rally and energize the team or the stadium, you're going to put on a show. So maybe they stole it from wrestling. Maybe they are Ric Flair fans and they thought, I'm going to go to the umpire, I'm going to strut, kick up some dust and say woo and get kicked out. But those are the reasons why skippers do it to the umpires. Do the umpires like it? I highly doubt it. Has any umpire, got back in their face? Most likely. Look at the picture in my background. Guru, what do you have to say about why the baseball managers argue calls and kick up dust?
Yeah, like my favorite ones is and shout out to all the managers that have done it. It's awesome when the catcher moves and the ump moves and they're kicking dirt onto the home plate, and they're like they put something in front of the eyes like saying, "Are you blind?" Meaning like you can't see a ball a strike. It's hilarious. I saw one that was, I think, a double A or triple A manager, to where he actually went to the mound and he got the ball of chalk that the pitchers use, so that way their hands don't get all sweaty and everything. And he used it as a grenade and he launched it towards home plate, like saying, just blow it all up. Just let's start this all over again. And he did the army crawl to home plate from the mound and everything. He went off on the guy. It was amazing.
I know what you're talking about, because didn't he also do something with a base too?
Yeah, he got one and he chucked it. Oh, that was awesome.
Yo, hey, I was just about to talk about this dude. Like, I'm just looking like, what? But at the end of the day, some of these calls, though, I'm gonna be honest. Some of these calls, you be like, yo, I understand we in the flow of the game, but bruh, that wasn't a strike.
Yeah.
And sometimes you be like, yo, you kind of just doing that. Like, especially in a game where you're trying to come back and you feel like your team is you've just not gotten anything to go all night your way. Mm-hmm. And the last thing you want is you keep seeing a ball that's a little bit too far out wide, and you looking like, oh, you're going to keep calling that a strike, huh? You punk mother. All right. And then you start, and then I don't blame them. I'll be kicking dust and stuff like that. See, but I'm going to but this skipper right here, the Germ So True skipper, I'm going to introduce the grass throw. So I'm going to take the grass and just throw it over him. I'm going to say, how about a tycoon shower in my E40 voice?
Look, the other ones that I like is the ones that get the bucket of baseballs or the bats and they start chucking them on the field. Like,
hey, man.
The bat boy's probably like, shit, why didn't I call that?
Yo.
So shout out to the culture, because this is how big sports is for me. So another favorite baseball movie of mine that Vic Jr. probably hasn't seen, Mr. 3000. I love the scene where he steps in for Stan the Man and gets ejected. That scene is hilarious to me. When he gets ejected. So like, this is part of the game. It's part of the culture. So Germ's going to throw grass on you. I'm going to keep a tradition. I'm going to kick up some dust and, then have a beer in the dugout or something.
I'm just going to, if that would be fantastic. I'll have all at it. I'll just go all out. I'll probably take all three bases and take it into the dugout with me. Be like,
you're going to give somebody the people's elbow. You're gonna stunner somebody. That's a Guru. He's stunner somebody.
Hey man, Zach said he tossed a Rosenbag the whole way, and then Trav says, "Hell, Valentine got a lot of ejections his damn self." So Zach said, then he stole second.
Yeah.
Oh man, and then Zach said he made a good point. He said, "I don't care what the strike zone is, just so long as it's consistent for both ways. That's when I get upset as a manager." Tanya says, "Great show, guys. Thanks, dear." Zach, I'm with you. But when you don't feel like you're under pressure and the rock is on top of you and the umpire is against you, I mean, hey, you got to get this grass. You got to get this grass, bro. You got to get this grass, Chief. And that's just how it goes. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, what other way should we do this? What other way should we do it, y'all? They say kicking dust. I don't want to kick dust. You know what I'm saying? Because then it get in your socks and it be all in your cleats and stuff. I don't like that. But then the grass, you just throw that on them. Say, ha, now you vegan. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Why did we find this guy?
Yo.
So now you vegan.
Yo. So, with that being said, y'all, I just want you to. Yo, I think that works. I really do.
I don't even have the final thought for that. What's my final thought after
Hey
that?
man, what's the final thought for the show? We have come undone.
Yo.
We're gonna send Jerm away on vacation. He's gonna use some PTO.
Yo, hey man.
Get him a wheatgrass smoothie.
Hey, next time Ty gonna be throwing some parsley on top of his meal one day. He can be like, now I'm vegan.
No, you know, I'm about to kick dust up y'all. Like, all those who don't think boneless wings exist, I'm gonna start arguing with y'all like skippers.
Hey,
that's what I'm gonna do.
Hold on. If you do it though, you ain't gotta do it like that. You gotta do it like Saw Babe.
Yeah. Now you're vegan. Oh man. Hey, man, this is funny. Hey, yo, it's the name of the show is The Dish, so you gotta make now we vegan. Now we vegan. Put it on the don't. There you go. We won.
Dinner served. Dinner served.
Fresh on the plate, baby. So final thoughts, Jorge?
This was fun, man. I love this. I'll tell you about this. This is a lot of fun. I don't know. Don't become vegan like Jerm saying. Just do it your own way. But nah, hey, we're gonna look out for the recorded shows we're gonna start doing on YouTube. We're gonna start bringing y'all probably the first one, like Jerm was saying. We're probably gonna start talking about Barry Bonds and why he should be in the Hall of Fame, why they're not letting him in, and we're gonna talk some numbers. Exclusive content coming next week from The Dish on YouTube. So look forward to it. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, thank you for following us. If you haven't, the hell y'all waiting for?
I don't know what they waiting on. Man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So, Ty, do you have any final thoughts? I know I probably threw you off. I'm sorry. I ain't even. Look. I threw myself off. I ain't even expect that one. You know what I'm saying? This, ladies and gentlemen, everything that I do is all freestyle impromptu. So I don't even know what I'm going to do. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. If you love it, I love you too. I'm just trying to make it fun for you. Hashtag so true.
All right, and my final thought is low-key Jerm just trying to be a writer so he can collect all the money behind the scenes. So don't pay attention.
Now I'm Ice Cube and I got Rick James in my veins. Hey,
yeah, that's Jerm for you. He everything I say comes from him. He's the writer. I'm gonna give him credit from now on. You know, there you go. And
he got
a little moment.
He got rhythm.
But final thought. Rob Manfred, like if you want to market MLB, put the scene on your screen, let the dish shine. Like this is what makes baseball great. Like talking about it, debates, but like real talk. This is how you grow
logical debates. Logical debates.
Yeah, logical.
Like have fun with it, but don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Exactly. Who else does this?
Vegan.
So hot takes served on a plate, but with education at the same time. We got it all.
Yep.
So I'm the tie through. I appreciate all of you. Keep the scene on the screen. Skipper, do what you do.
So look, we appreciate you guys for coming through. The show was crazy today. I love the energy. Shouts out to everybody in the comments, everybody who stopped through with us, all of the great energy participation. We love it. We'll be back at you next week. We're gonna have some more shows as well coming up. We're gonna keep you guys posted. Maybe we may just pop up one day with some stuff that's not live on the scene. It may just end up being on the scene. So I want you to make sure you remember that. But this is The Dish signing off live on the scene. Tie through. Guru. Jerm so true. We out, y'all. Take care.